Living alone,
I'm living alone in the jungle.
I'm living alone in the jungle. Snake and lion hard to humble.
I'm living alone. I'm living alone in the jungle.
Tell me mother, tell me papa, one of my brother and tell her my sister.
I'm living alone. I'm living alone in the jungle.
Money, money when I travel in a God, me little life I gambling.
I'm living alone. I'm living alone in the jungle.
I'm living alone in the jungle. Snake and lion hard to humble.
I'm living alone. I'm living alone in the jungle.
I'm living alone Monday morning. I'm living alone in the evening.
I'm living alone. I'm living alone in the jungle.
I'm living alone, Sayawanga. Take your time and sing my calendar.
What does it mean for a young man, not even a young man really, 27, 28 years old? You think you've been through most of your experiences as a young person already. You're now going into, the middle age of your youth. Soon you'll have a family and stuff like that. And here you are, standing up in the middle of a guy, having toured with a band with the likes of Show in Winchester and Traffic, having worked with oil companies, having gone to university, having done all of that, to end up in the middle of a guile, which has a perception of decent folk, so to speak. And if you had asked me if I would be in a guile around when I was 20 years old, 25 years old, I'd tell you no.
And making sure not telling your mother or any of your family that you was playing stick.
Because I don't think any of them, they'll find out this interview.
This over maybe 2,000-year-old art handed down generation by generation to ensure the survival and protection of the village. And I started training with some, to me, the greatest living martial artists I have met, who understand tactics, strategy, doctrine, improvised weapons, weaponized combat, blade, stick, bottle. Because in the regions where there's stick, bottle is an art. Their understanding of application of the martial tradition, of development of the human being is truly amazing.
No boy man afraid, no stick man, no boy man afraid, no demand. No boy man afraid, no boy man afraid, no stick man. Bah!
The journey began for us 10 years ago. Just finished secondary school, went straight into the work world. Started off in the oil field, and that's where I met Benji. It would be a year and a half until I would meet him again. But in that time frame, I started competing in a lot of martial art competitions. Entered the Pan Am Games, represented Trinidad and Tobago, and won gold and silver. After that, I went into the university, and that's where Benji and I met up again. Started training with some of the coolest martial arts stuff that I ever, encountered before. One of those things was the Russian martial art. And to me, that provided the foundation and the preparation to enter into the rough and tumble world of calendar.
We play with tide, my arrow. We play with tide, my arrow. We play with tide, my arrow. Coconut on the beach, my arrow. We play with tide, my arrow. We play with tide, my arrow. Coconut on the beach in my arrow. We play with tide, my arrow. We play with tide, my arrow.
honestly believe that I'm a born warrior. Why? I'm not sure. But every kick-up movie that ever crossed the screens I saw, I was on every wall, small log. I even tried to do kung fu on top of my mother's bird bath to show how great my balance was. The company that I worked for felt it fit to send me to all the dangerous countries, Colombia, Venezuela, Mexico. People I work with are getting robbed, kidnapped, hijacked, and I'm not feeling safe. So I then left the martial art realm, having done judo, karate, kendo, the whole gamut of Japanese martial arts. And I started traveling in the United States, looking for something that could ensure my survival in case the worst happened. And while researching Japan, China, Africa, it dawned upon me that, wait a minute, Trinidad does have its own martial art, I think it's a concrete martial tradition. And I made an intuitive leap. I felt that for it to have survived so long and still be used in its original context, where fights were stopped, when blood was drawn, it would have to be a little more organized than it looks. It couldn't be just this arbitrary collection of drunk men hitting each other with sticks.
Right now, we're going through the companies. And it's an interesting story with these companies. The company basically is the name of these areas. It's interesting how these names were derived because in 1812, you know, the African soldiers were fighting for the crown in the American War. Settled here in 1815 because they were promised lands. And these places that they settled essentially were named after the different regiments or companies in which they were placed in the army. So that's why I have 5th Company, 6th Company. So a lot of our teachers, Uncle Barra, these people were basically American as they are called, these descendants of these African soldiers who came to Trinidad in this particular spot. So today, we're going to be visiting a couple of the masters, the fathers of the bois, as we call them. You know, having to meet them is important, and having to be, you know, being in their company and being trained by them is particularly important for us. So we starting our journey today by meeting Uncle Barra, Congo Barra as he's called. He's somebody that we have to talk to, we have to meet, because he's our eldest, or the eldest of our teachers. We look to him for a lot of our spiritual, a lot of our psychological, and even the physical guidance into calendar. He has been around a lot. He's a champion in the ring. He's somebody not to be messed with. He's a very serious person, and he basically provides for us the code or the you know, the ethos for which we follow as what a stickman is really about.
Anansia, they're making a plan to kill you. They're making a plan to kill you. All them bombers want to stop you.
Anancio, they're making a plan to kill you.
They're making a plan to kill you. Who were tumbe bad tumbe man.
So here we are on the south coast of Trinidad. This is Moruga. And one of the most amazing moments in my life was finding out that my family was from Moruga. 6th Company to be exact. And of American blood. What's amazing about that is it directly connects us to the warrior tradition that produced some of the most amazing warriors in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. And it actually provided us with a moment of serendipity, a solution to a problem we were having that we just couldn't figure out. How do you balance the warrior and the singer? Because Keegan, as a struggling musician, was trying to find ways to harmonize the two. And we recognize that in the history of the calendar, this mystical warrior who was both performer and martial artist existed.
Philogene rive, all your me teddy me. Sing me teddy by Congo Barra. Chana to put in the barra, philo. Rive, all your me teddy by Congo. What next?
What made you get into stick?
No, well, I learned this from small. Since my uncle, my uncle, and them used to play stick. And I learned this stick from small since I had 10 years. When we come from school on evening, we uncle them sit down right by the cemetery there, out the road there. And they teach you to play this game. But I could have played this game all the time, but I never played until Anka lost the eye, which is my big brother side. When he lost the eye, then I stepped into the game. Really didn't like it as a hobby, as other people follow it up. But then when it reached the worst, and I see where some advantage taken, I said, now I'm going out, I have to go out there. I had to go out there and seek some revenge, seek my brother revenge. And I went out there and I did it all.
So what make you carry on after you bust the one eye? Because you still went on, you still continue.
After I bust the eye, we went to Manzalena a Sunday evening. And my brother with the one eye jump in the rings. Indian drum, one Indian drum, brother lick him down. I dance out there in the rings. I said, who's the king here? Who's the king? They say King Gerald, a tall Negro fella. I said, how much you cut he? The owner of the bar say, $300 and 3 bottles of Buchanan's. Inside they drinking a bottle of Nipper punch. I went and I buy one drink of whiskey. There was. And I drink it. The man tell me, I say, he's the king. I said, I come to cut you, I come to play you. He said, take a drink. I said, I don't want. Drink your punch. I said, come outside. I walk outside and I went in the guy and I stand up. I had a stick. The whole stick tape in black. I tell my wife and the last stick there. And I wait when as he reached in the guy, I walk right down on that man. And I hit that man a stick here, so and bust it for it from here to here. This time they don't look down, my brother, you know. My brother, they in a car, they like, you know. I bust it for it from here to here. You see in white and no blood. I will still call that revenge because my brother don't lie down there. I take a revenge for him. It don't make no sense. I say it's not a revenge. It's a revenge I seek. It's a revenge I seek.
Monday, when you're traveling, don't go let your life be gambling.
So at this point, our research into calendar started to deepen. We went to the National Library and had a look at some transcripts done in 1889. And that led us on to the work of Dr. Gordon Rollier, who was a professor of literature at the University of West Indies. His work was specifically how kalinda and the lavways, the music that's sung during the chants that are sung during the game, how they were impacting the formation of calypso and soca, two of our national music forms. We also realized that there was a lot of interconnection between the classic carnival figures during our national mass celebration, Neg Jardine, Midnight Rubber, and the Perrot. This actually began to excite us because we recognized that the tradition was deeper, wider, and far older than we thought. That led to a call where we connected directly with Dr. Rollier and we asked, Doc, is there any way or any research that you know of specific to the martial part of the calendar tradition? And he indicated to me at that moment clearly, he said, son, this has never been done before, but go get it. This is something that you can do.
Tell them why I'm at so Kali train me, why I'm at so Kali train me, why I'm at so Kali train me, why I'm at so Kali train me. Tell them why I'm at so Kali train me, why I'm at so.
Kali, I remember the first time I ever see her down in San Fernando Wharf, King's Wharf.
King's Wharf.
That's the first time I ever see her. Right. And when I see that, that's when I realized I wanted to learn Buana. And 5 years later, I ended up bouncing up. As you told me before, the stick thing is a killer. You know what I mean? And no matter how much I try, you know, to get my head around that, sometimes it does be difficult.
To get the killer instinct.
Yeah, and what the first time I went in the ring, before I couldn't sleep for about a month, every single night. I don't know if anybody could ever understand what it feels like to not be able to sleep for over 28 to 30 days straight. Because you know you had that fear of going into this killer game where everybody coming at you hard, strong, to bust your head, open your skull.
kill you.
To kill you. You see, I didn't even say it. I saying everything else but that. How you does get in that zone to prepare for that?
Well, he was going that zone. I just feel like this. Like I go into war, I leave my family home. I leave them home. I leave them crying because they need things. And I is the father giver, and I go into war, and I do sure to come back. So what is prepare my mind real strong? I go into war, and I go into win. I go into win. Don't matter how big and tall the man is, how powerful, what, how it could be the reigning king, whatever it is. I go in for him because stick fight that the first thing you have to learn to do is to break stick. And so once you can break stick, you don't fear and nobody. The person, the stick man who come in to fight you, he come in with the mind to kill you. He come in saying, but I'm going and I'm going to play kick, I'm going to mash him up here, I'm going to bust up his face. And he come in. So you on the other side now. You say, you see, I'm going to mash him. He wanna kill me and bury me. I want to kill him, bury him, dig him up, bury him again, kill him, bury him up again, 10,000 times. You know? So the mind will be strong. You have to have a strong mind, no matter what it is.
They put me alone, they put me alone in Carrera, they put me alone in Carrera, they put me alone in Carrera. They put me alone, they put me alone in Carrera. They put me alone, they put me alone in Carrera. They put me alone, they put me alone in Carrera. They put me alone on the border wing.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
All them years you was in Carrera, you miss it?
Yeah, I miss it a lot. It was a lot of stress out for me coming for carnival.
Especially when you like you used to hear the drum someone over there.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll tell you something. Stick is like this. You see where I custom with stick for carnival. I custom with stick, and I been locked away. When that hour reach, it just come now. So when it come to now, you start to put it out. So that's why I was go by the superintendent and make a request, and he has granted me the request. So we just beat bucket. And we just wrap, it has some hardboard, we just bring fish and thing, cardboard. We just tape it up and thing. And we just run a session every carnival. That was my
Your joy.
That was my joy for the carnival. I'll tell somebody drum. The drum is a serious thing. You see, the drum's so brutal, it's so brutal that you will run through a concrete wall with steel in it. It have steel barriers. And when that drum take you, and you, according to the songs, it has certain sticks have certain songs. That's why if it have 10 stick men here, and you come here, and nobody want to play, because you're a good fighter, and you call with them barman, you call them, and they want to think, you raise a stick song. It has songs they will come out. It have songs like, with them barman they ting-a-ring, oh Lord, ting-a-ring, somebody go there, ting-a-ring. With them barman they ting-a-ring, with them stick man they ting-a-ring, somebody go there, ting-a-ring, oh Lord, ting-a-ring, zap it in the mama, ting-a-ring, oh God, ting-a-ring. With them barman they ting-a-ring, they will come out. Because after, you see, you're calling them out. In the songs, you're calling them out with them barman. And the barman them here. So out of the 10, one might say, "Rod for you, boy." A man will come out. So there are certain songs will come out. There are certain songs you will hear, and you will play a fella who you tell yourself that you can't play all the time, all through the season. And when that song raise, you got to raise, you start playing him. And I'm going to say, no, okay, I can't play. You say about playing here, I say, go ahead.
Why you going to say go ahead all the time? You tell them I don't go.
No, because you say you want, because you had the vibes, you see. Stickers are vibes, you had the vibes. To play him. You see him meditate, you see stickers, not only sticker telling you. That is, you have to go around and watch, observe. You watch people, you watch men's style. You meditate. That's why this grounds is for that. This grounds here is for that.
Yeah.
That's why if I follow that tall fella, follow that short fella. That's why like these, like this thing here, like this. Anytime you hit, when they make a shot, end of this thing, it print out. As he barely says, him barely says, say, "Bam!" Rush him inside the back. You know why inside the back?
Why?
Because he barely see the stick. He barely see it, and he hit him with the end of the stick.
Yeah.
The end. It's the end of the stick that's cut here, you know. Really and
If the
truly.
sergeant try, if the sergeant try to stop me, if the sergeant try to stop me, the doctor go dress his body.
If the sergeant try to stop me.
If the sergeant try to stop me, the doctor go dress his body.
If the sergeant try.
As our research in the art form developed, we began to recognize that there were a series of archaic laws designed to block and inhibit the development of calendar as an art form. And one of the things we did to address that was form the Bois Academy. It was a collection of the elders, some of the oldest living stickmen, and what we did as a collective group was start lobbying for changes in the art form and the way it was represented. And one of the things we did, first major event we held was a Gael. Gael was right here in St. Mary's, Poitras. It was one of the biggest Gaels that they've held in Trinidad in the last 20 years. We had villagers in mass numbers coming out. One night we had over 8,000 people. And what that taught me was the power of calendar as a tool for social change, the power of calendar as a tool for community growth, community development. And it was just amazing to see these stick fighters, the women, the children, everybody interacting and having what to me felt like what Carnival and that whole experience must have been like 100 years ago. I had the pleasure and one of the proudest moments of my personal life to see Keegan stand up with Acid as members of the St. Mary's Gael and play.
That's where a lot of things started. Acid say, "I want you to stand with me, my brother. He's the only man I ever teach stick. And I love you like a brother." And he was really emotional, but he was sincere. For me, it makes sense. A lot of the behaviors he exhibited, the situations that we ended up in, it looked just like the movie or the movies. A young man came with nothing, or what he thought was everything, but he knew was nothing. Met the rogue, vagabundo, up in the hills or in the bushes, literally happened. And they would test you. There were broken fingers and busted heads, and you had to come back the next day, and you just train, and you would be taught a new lesson, and you had to get it, and you didn't get it, and you just keep coming back. And then the final testing ground on Mayaro Beach, when he wanted to see what you had or what he had taught you. And you displayed yourself very good, and then he would actually touch you on your shoulder and say, "You're ready now." Those words actually happened.
We play with tide, we play with tide, my arrow. We play with tide, we play with tide, my arrow. We play with tide, my arrow. Coconut on the beach, my arrow. We play with tide, we play with tide, my arrow. We play with tide, my arrow. Coconut on the beach, in my arrow. We play with tide, we play with tide, my arrow.
I tell you, you're a real stick man, you know. You see, your bloodline, somewhere in your bloodline, that'll be someone from your great-grandfather coming up, was a boy man. The stick was always there in we blood from creation. You know, we come here with this. This is not like just a sport where we just learn. This is an art form.
How you just prepare your stick?
If I go and cut a stick, at first I go and take a bathe. I might look for clean, not clean clothes, but I might want to have new clothes to put on. you know, and want a new cutlass to go and cut it. After I done bathe, change my clothes, semi-pros, I wouldn't even dry my skin, and I ain't bathing in no pipe water and, you know, stuff like that. I'm looking for a spring or a river with running water to bathe. And I go in there clean. I know I want to stay away from, I want to, how should I say, abstain from a female companion for that period of time while I go in and deal with my stick. I want my stick to be clean. When I cut my stick is part of me. This stick must be able to break a gunshot when I done cut it. So when I reach to cut my stick now, I'll tell the stick, you know, I'll ask the forest to give me, ask the forest permission first to let me cut that stick, and then I'll tell the stick why I'll be cutting him, and you know, and this is how I will get my stick. And you don't just walk in the bush and cut any stick. There's that stick call here. The spirit of the boy man come from the forest, because you ever hear about the story they tell you about Papa Boy? He's the man that protect all the animals in the jungle. If should a person go in there and decide he could kill the animals without conscience, that is the man who protect the jungle, Papa Boy. And here is his name, Papa Boy. You know?
So a stick man is like a protector then?
Well, a stick man, in his community, he have to be a protector. You wouldn't see nobody walk in the community and just try to mash it down. He will stand up no matter if it costs him his life. That is the role of a stick man. He can't help that. You know? He might want to do it, but that is the way you have to do it. And this whole thing with stick, nobody never teach me stick. My calling from stick is through the spirit. I just get our vibes just so, and I feel that, you know. I just say, hey, stick playing on my block, boy. And I go in and play stick. Nobody can come here and play stick and things. So, and the man will come in, they say he is the king. I just get the vibes, I go on and I cut a stick, and I expected he to give me a chance because he know me, but he wasn't giving me no chance. He was like attacking me because he tell himself, hey, this man look like he come for blood. But that time I just come out there to say, hey, we're going on out here. And he pushed me to the distance that my DNA came on surface. And the true boy man in me came to be. And I cut him in the second stick. As the most I over my ear here in me, I cut him in the second stick. And from there, I go on clear from there and started to play stick.
Are you ready to go home? Are you ready to go home? No, we have more boy to come. More boy in the garage.
Din it mama.
Why, did you know?
Din it mama, din it papa.
Why, did you know?
Din it oh, saya wango.
Why, did you know?
Mama take your time, boy, and sing my calendar.
Why, did you know?
Never yet you trouble take you.
Why, did you know?
Mama never makes you look like follow you.
Now that we open our guile in St. Mary's, that took a little part of, was in it, took a little part to experience the excitement and to help the younger people to sort of walk in a way that it used to be.
How necessary is spirituality to stick fight?
The songs that you sing, most of the songs are songs to the ancestors, is more or less warrior songs. Like say when you go to Okmagayal, you do certain rituals as a sort of a form of acknowledgement to those who pass on. as we would say an acknowledgement to the ancestors.
Sell the obia, sell all the obia they buy for me. Sell all the obia they buy for me. I don't pass in the cemetery.
Send the obia, they buy for me.
Sell all the obia they
How has stick fight changed over the years?
In times before, when you have stick fighters in a village, people used to look up to them. They were considered to be men who were sort of upstanding. People would go to them for advice at times. If there was contention among the people, these stick fighter in the village would sort of be like the peacemaker. Sometimes they settle it out with stick fight or talk and dialogue. They used to open the little guiles by shops and or on the village junctions, and it used to be something exciting, and even the children and younger ones would come, so they learn the songs and they learn the art from looking on. And you know, the older ones would tell them about it and sort of explain to them certain little things, answer their questions and things, but that doesn't happen today.
Cali's father, Muxila, was very studied and very introspective, as a matter of fact. He was not a sort of in-your-face fighter. He'd hurt you. You know, when he got involved, he was going to hurt somebody. It was almost as though he was steaming with something internal. To my mind, he exemplified the tradition perhaps more fully than all of them, because, see, he was a woodsman. He didn't work in industry at all or anything like that. He worked alone in the woods with his animals. He had a buffalo. He hauled the hardwood logs and whatnot when they cut them down. That's what he did.
I'm living alone in the jungle. Living alone, I'm living alone in the jungle. I'm living alone in the jungle. Snake and lion hard to humble.
So that, I mean, nobody's going to get a CMG or whatever it is for being a good stick fighter, or for being a good villager, or for being a good man of the village. There's no award beyond what that small circle of people you know and your comrades and whatnot. Outside of those circles, outside of that circle, they're at sea quite often, totally at sea. They aren't ready to compete elsewhere, not prepared to compete elsewhere. Okay, they don't have any political power, not going to get any, you're not going to get any, you're a woodsman, you're not going to make any money. You do terribly dangerous work. I went to Muxila, watched him haul mahogany logs out of the forest. It's damn dangerous. You risk your life running downhill with a log running down behind you and stuff like that. But there's no money in it, really. You barely keep your family together. So you are substantially living the life of a low-level human. You are a human, and you take your values from there. What is a human? What does a human do? He handles the land, handles the trees, the environment, and he defends himself from other men, and he stands up, he's stalwart. And being stalwart becomes very important, and that's what you stand for.
When I'm dead, bury me clothes. I want a woman to wear me clothes. When I'm dead, I want a woman to wear me clothes.
When I'm dead, bury me clothes.
Say, if I dead, I dead. When I'm dead,
Bury me clothes.
bury me in shirt and tie.
When I'm dead, bury me clothes.
Bury me clothes. When I'm
Dead,
dead,
bury me clothes.
I want a woman to wear me clothes.
The stick we call for now, look them here. You play with this, and you play through Trinidad and Tobago, and if a fella cut you, you're well cut. You're well cut. Don't play with bad stick to harm a fella. That ain't good. When I play in stick, the only thing I do with playing stick, get up in the morning, bathe, put some red love in my bucket of water and bathe and go and play stick free. And never do a fella to spoil his stick. And if I do that, God should send me up to now. Never do that.
Yes, so yes, about fair play. You
Fair
believe
play.
in that?
Fair play.
You believe in fair play?
Fair play. Don't hit a fella to spoil a fella. It ain't good. Because if you spoil me, who will play again? You understand? Who go play again? And I love this stick playing. In and through to hold a stick and play with a good mind and a fair mind.
And then knowing you going to school and your father on front line in the Express, King stick fighter Harold Brown, I've never been dethroned. When I tell people Harold Brown is my father, they like wants to meet him. Right, and at his age now and still as a king, he's a legend then.
But as a good thing for the youths, it's better for the youths to stay out of trouble and think they could get themselves into some things. Doing something and learning something from the older, it's a very good experience. And I like my father because, you know, can't nothing happen to him. I just take care of him. So I just be kind of worried now. Because mommy leave me in charge. Yeah, be my eyeball right here.
Sing Rosie, Rosie,
Coming down.
with a bag of silver.
Coming down.
Can you tell us anything about women and their role in stick fight?
They were important on the crew, this side. Very important. The taunting and the dancing and the singing. Some of them, if they find like the guy getting cold, they would take a stick and they would come out. And like they showing the men how it is to be done.
Rosie, Rosie, love Miss Rosie. Rosie, Rosie, with a bag of silver. Rosie, Rosie, with a gold and silver. Rosie, Rosie, with a bag of silver. Rosie, Rosie, with a gold and silver. Rosie, me darling, with the gold and silver. Rosie, me darling, with the gold and silver.
You talk about the drums. You say the drums are calling.
Sometimes when I go on the drum beat, so like my hair raised in my body. I say like I feeling to play war. This night they had this guy. We went to Marabella. And when we reached Marabella, the drum beating. They had the guy in the back of the market, the back down there. The drum beating, and as the drum beating, I see this woman by the name of Molly. She jumping like Harold Brown's wife. I said, well, boy, for you tonight. I said, me afraid a woman tonight. I said, anybody. And me and she hang. And now she carry. I rest it up in she ribs. I said, go back. And the crowd go there. Going back again. I hit she. Whap. Then I look, I see my husband come and he stopped the game. He said, you go kill a woman tonight. I said, I'll let she play. She said she must come back. I said, all right, give she a chance again. She come back and she carry. When she carry, man, I hit she again. They say, cut the stick. They say, stick down there.
You used to fight more women or men or both?
Like, I fight woman. I fight man, play with man too, But you know, man don't really want to play with woman. You know? But woman, some woman just feel well them.
Yeah.
They could make it.
You feel the men didn't want to play because you were Stokely wife and another?
I feel so. Yeah. We was a discovery was in Morugan, Chinese stickman Chinese. So he played stickman Chinese. They used to have it by the church. So when he played stickman Chinese and he fall on the ground, he hit Chinese stick and he fall. And when he fall, Chinese get on the ground and beating him on the ground. And piece of his stick come back to me because I was always there with him. And when that stick come back, I take that stick and when I start to beat Chinese, so Chinese was, you know, it's not a woman he's saying we beat him. He said that man was no man, was just me and he.
Yeah.
I really, really like stick. And then it's like it's from generation to generation because my father was a stick man. He used to play. My uncle there used to play. The whole family from generation. My son here, he used to play. He used to run away in the night and go and play.
Yeah, I used to thief away and go and play stick. Yeah, I used to thief away because them time, you can't let mommy them know you're going to play stick. You understand? Because they curl them because they know it's a dangerous game. And it's all about the reflexes and the eyesight. If you do eyesight, don't go there. And if you do reflexes, don't go there. You understand? So it's all about that. So when they start to hear
I cutting people, I licking down people, and they see I coming home, you know, I coming home without a scratch. Then they say, boy, this boy is a real beast. I say, I'm going to make a love with this. So I started to sing. Only there who are, from the day hold me boy, from the day hold me boy, me mama call me a murderer. Only there who are, from the day hold me boy, from the day hold me boy, I tell them any boy man could play. You know, this kind of way, and that different piece I just put in now.
What make you stop though?
Well, I tell myself, I say, boy, you play all this stick, you never really lost your eye, you never get no bad damage. Plus you have a good voice, you could sing otherwise and make your money. When you go in there, you're sure to win a fight. As well, you might bust up 4 or 5 head and you get your money, but when you sing, your money sure. So I tell myself, I say, use your talent. Because a man, I will stop just so and make up a love on you. Just so that's just my talent. You understand?
Tell us about the role of the Shantwell.
Well, I wouldn't say the Shantwell could control what's happening in the ring, but he have a great part to do with it. You understand? He have a great part to do with it because he have power to stop the fight. You understand? Because if he stops sing and what the drummer eye, they know it's to stop the drum. You understand? Because I stop plenty bout. And I see man get damaged and the can't go again, although the referee saying, hey, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. I stop once I cut off, the drummers cut off because, I mean, I know my father never want me to play stick. Because he's so vexed anytime he hear, like I wrong the guy, like going to play stick and thing. First singing he with mine, you understand? But he's so vexed. Because he know he bust real people head. I show my father bust over 400 head. Bust real head. Take what I'm telling you. Real men, the best. Cut them. You understand? Well, you know, anybody could get cut in stick, he get cut too, several times.
The bull on the road. The bull on the road and the groaning.
The bull on the road. The bull on the road, the groaning.
The bull on the road and the groaning. The bull on the road and the rooting.
The bull on the road. The bull on the road, the rooting.
The bull on the road at the lad. The bull on the road at Makaila.
The bull on the road. The bull on the road, the rooting.
The chaining in nose road.
The chaining in nose, the rooting. Chaining in nose, the rooting. The bull get away, look, he coming. The bull get away, oh.
What about it make you feel to keep doing this thing year after year, no matter what happened to you?
Well, it come like there's an artist entertaining the crowd, and you feel, you know, when you feel that you is Stokely, and hundreds or thousands of people around you, and everybody looking to you. And outside a stickman coming from so, and one coming from San Stokely there. And all of them, who you beat or who you cut, you is king. When you're coming home, long time in pocket nice. Yeah, and you're coming home without no pain.
Apart from the material benefits you received, I mean, what else did you get from the art?
I would say that stick give me a lot of recognition in Trinidad. No, if I didn't have that kind of inspiration or go with that feelings or with the body of people around me, I would have been missing something. I want to be honest with you because it made me learn a lot, and it made me get a little more sense about what it have outside in the world. Both evil and good.
We marching to bowling, look how we going.
We marching to bowling.
Oh, we marching to bowling, look how we growing.
Marching to bowling.
Come and look, the other one, no one we marching.
Marching to bowling.
This is it. This is the man. And when any man, sometimes I like to imagine that in Africa, Congo, Angola even. And when I hear the breeze blowing through the grass, it sounds like waves, the waves that brought me here from Grenada, Haiti, America, India. Because I'm an American, and the American clans were some of the greatest stick fighters in the history of the art form. This is the place that produced Uncle Sign, who's the brother to Congo Barra, who's the brother to Jack, who's the cousin of Moxilal, and their children, Marva, who grew up in the Homa Congo, Stokely, who grew up as a cousin to Kali, Kali, who is big brother to Tony and to the rest of the Bineal family. These are my teachers, and they produce Gary, myself, Keegan, even the nephew of the great Harold Brown, David Brown, otherwise known as King Acid. This is the place that produced the brand of stick we play, the Moruga brand, which is distinct from the other brand of stick because in the rest of Trinidad they play one bar. One bar is a situation of demonstrated stick where you hit, then I hit, then you hit again. Not any man, not from this combative warrior people for whom stick was more than just a display. It was our art. It was a way of warfare. That's why we play the double stick or the stick of the inside game, the sota. This is a place where we broke from the tradition of wearing the costumes. I think it's because the Americans were from a military system. And so they would spend a lot of their time ready for war. And in that tradition, you practice and fight in what you wear all day, every day. Because it was a more militarized, embattled people. A people that owned land in a time when for Africans owning land was almost a sin. Kalinda was a way of self-defense. Every year around August, the Americans would have a tradition where they would have a band of stickmen who would fight the rest of the world. Moruga against everybody. And this village against village tradition produced eventually a national celebration of stick fighting held every year during Carnival and hosted by the National Carnival Commission. In 2012, for the first time in a decade, the St. Mary's Gael or village hosted a team that entered this competition. This team comprised of myself, Keegan, David and Kali. It was a real honor and a rare gift to enter your rite of passage, your entry into manhood, facing death squarely in the eye, in the company of your teachers.
When the steamer blow, 40 miles below, we're going to Addis Ababa to get a loaded revolver. Sing when the steamer blow, 40 miles below. Don't cry, don't cry, come on down in paradise. Sing when the steamer blow, 40 miles below. Don't cry, come on down in paradise. Sing when the steamer blow, 40 miles below. I'm going to Addis, don't cry, come on down in paradise. Sing when the steamer blow, 40 miles below. I'm going to Addis Ababa to get a loaded revolver. When the steamer blow, 40 miles below. Don't cry, come on down in paradise. Sing when the steamer blow, 40 miles below. Don't cry, come on down in paradise. Sing when the steamer blow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the last bout goes to Keegan Taylor.
I find out a good fight because I know the one man too, and it's a guy that I train with, I work with. So the game wasn't about the busted thing, it was about the art. A lot of people didn't agree with the decision and they find I should have busted the man's head and all that kind of thing. But that is not the game for me. The game is art, the game is about tactics, strategy, and beauty. So coming around in the semi-finals will be a different story altogether. All who feel it's just so, it's not just so. What?
Here's where your manhood is truly tested. You stand up and face this man. Even though he can bust your damn head, you stand up and you face it. You know? And you do your best. Whatever it is, you do your best, whatever it is. And that determines, in a sense, whether you grow or whether you are successful as a human being, whether you're worthy of whatever it is people give you in the way of acclaim or not. That's all justified in that moment when you either stand up or you run or you cower or whatever. That sort of thing is worked out in the ring, the Gael, all the time.
Zing zing ga. Oh tumbe tumbe. Zing zing ga. Take your time and play. Zing zing ga. Oh carry carry. Zing zing ga. Wanda be babonde. Zaki tumbe tumbe. Zing zing ga. Megaya megaya. Megaya megaya. Your mother from Haiti. Your papa from India. You never know your mother. You never know your papa. You never know your brother and sister. All the time and hour. Oh Lord, to make a ginger. Make one in the ninja. And let's say a wanga. Megaya megaya. Oh gaya megaya. Oh carry carry. Take your time and play. Under the boy you carry. Tell them under the boy you tumbe. Saki tumbe rase.
Your music, your love ways are sung much differently from any other chantel. They're very inspirational and the lyrics are very powerful. Tell us about some of these love ways and the way you put them together.
Yeah, but you see when it's love, not just love. When you sing in love, and meaning. You sing love from your heart, and everything is a meaning to the love. Yeah, so when you say match on them, man.
What does that mean?
Even though they walk with hope, yeah, well, you're marching on them. If
You can give us a piece of that?
say if they walk with hope, yeah, march on them. If they walk with wanga,
March
march
on
on them. I walk with my God, my Savior,
March on
them. I don't afraid no pressure, march on them. My spirit from Africa, march on them. I'm a true-born warrior, march on them. Trinidadian tiger, march on them. Take your time and play them, march on them. When I meet them, bar them, you know.
So you have been the king. Everybody knows Tony as a king. It's called King Tony. Tell us about that whole experience about being the king and what it was like.
It's a serious thing. When it's a king and a girl, they have to, any stick man come from, no matter where they've come from over the Trinidad and Tobago, you have to stand up and fight. Plus, you know, every year it's different stick men coming, and they're always hearing about Tony, so when they come in vicious. They always come in more and more vicious.
So I see
to try to take you down. And this is the crown, where the crown man prince down. Son. Yeah.
Very nice. I see I have two of them. So tell us about how you got each one.
Yeah, well, I got this one in Gilbert Park. Hoover.
Tell us about the boy itself, your weapon of choice. You call it the rod of correction.
Yeah, well, this is the staff. This is the rod here. This come like a gun. Yeah, like you're fighting where everybody had a gun. Yeah, when men come here to defend it with this. Come like if you're in the army and men load a gun and the enemies come in and they shoot and with the Uzi and all kind of thing. Well, this is your gun in the stick ring. Yeah, this we have to buy your body from hard lash from your bust in your eye because when men come, they come in to bluff. Yeah, men come in to liquid your jaw, break your ribs, break your hand, bust your eye. Well, they're trying to kill you then. Yeah, and this is the thing to defend your body. You know? This is the thing that to defend your crown. You know, defend your head. And with well condition and footworks now, it's speed too, because men come in with speed, so you have to be moving. You understand? Bang, bang, hitting and breaks in. You know? But some of man looking at a man fake like he come in and hit your rib, bow, and the thing here, and he switch. And he stick down reach here. You have time to come back on top here. So you know, you just take this and just thing it here, and you stick it here. And with that shot, you're waiting here, you can't hit back here, so you pull it from right here. You understand?
Walk on them hero, walk on them tiger, walk on them lizard, walk on them parrot. Hey, the bago play, hey, with the bago play. Oh, walk on them parrot, walk on them parrot, walk on them tiger, with the bago play.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that bout goes to Anthony Byneel of the London Belgael.
Well, this is the Womoy Boy Academy. This is where we were born. This is where the elders and the villagers and the youth get together. And this is where we share and have been exposed to the art in its fullness. This is home for us. This is our launching platform. This is where we get together on weekends and Saturdays, practice our drumming, kalinda, gatka. this is really for me the home away from home. Out of the experience of being directly exposed to the masters, 4 major objectives came to fruition. One, we wanted to archive the culture. Thus far, we have over 85 recorded lavaways, 15 bongo songs, amazing written material, pictures, photos, documents. A real amazing thing is happening. In addition to that, we want to immerse and become living examples of the culture. And that's why we play, that's why we dance, that's why we sing. Then it's to start sharing the culture with the wider Trinidad and Tobago and hopefully Caribbean, African diaspora and the world in general. Through this process of recognizing the masters, we hope Kalinda itself becomes recognized as a strong contributor to the African diaspora culture and hopefully to the Trinidad and Tobago as its national martial art.
The key thing in this is to learn the breaks, and if your car breaks, your car be a stick man. If you could only charge, you're out of the game. You have to learn to break stick. You're walking going on a man. You're the man here, you reach here and watching your hand. Don't watch your foot. Don't watch your foot. Man will dance, kick the foot after you watch it. But don't watch your foot. You're watching your hand. You're watching the guard from here. You're watching the guard. If you go to push the sand or you push the sand, you have to know the breaks. You push the sand and you fool you with the sand like you're going to hit it. That time you hit over here. You're late. You don't go over here to breaks. You think you could come back here to take the stick here? You have to watch your hand and wait for him in the center here. Don't breaks no stick. Don't ever breaks a stick before a man charge. As he lead to charge, bam, then you come back over here. But you're making no action, boy. You will get caught.
I ain't guessing ya. I sit in my head.
You will get caught.
I got caught there. I wasn't thinking about that. I was so engrossed in what you're saying. But yeah, you're right. I get.
Sunday evening, I leave here. My wife says she want to go. I went to the road and I hired a car. I said, let me go Lobry. When I reach Lobry, I meet Big John in the glee. They say nobody can play him. I borrow a stick from a guy from up Coover. And me and Big John him. I hit him in the face. And when, this is the reason why I tell you, you're a man play stick, don't leave your hand free. Keep him here and make sure you see that stick done before you turn your back on him. And as I turn my back, that Big John hit me one stick in the back of my head. Bang, he said, Barra, you get. I say, hit me in the back turn. You get, I say, yeah, you lash me, yes, but how you lash me in my back turn, I don't walk in away, stick done. Hit me, boss, I say nothing. I go on in the body, I take a drink, I come back out. Now watch him, I raise my song. I raise my love with Philogen, with me, tell the bike, Congo Barra. And I went and hold him by the hand and say, you come, the big killer wheel. I say, you come out here, play stick. Let people see you play stick. I walk right down on him, bar. But when I reach stick like and I move my hand from here, I make him breaks and then cut him. Bang up there, he gone up there and he break, bang, I hit him here, man. I say, I is your father. The next year, I meet him by the link up. As he dancing in by the link up, I made him sit down and stick, so I tell him, lend me the stick, lend me the stick. I tell him, boy, you go down there, you play stick. I walk right back to him, and me didn't even chance the man yet. As I reach here and I tell him, boy, I reach here, he gone up there to break. I cut him in the same cut where I cut him down the year before. I tell him, anytime you're watching a mirror, you're going to see Congo Barra, I is your father.
We here at Central Athletic Club in Shogunas. This is, I guess, one of the places where going forward we're going to teach Boaz an academy from, and it is a cutting-edge facility. Fortunately for us, the owners of the facility recognize the value of what the Boaz Academy brings. When we host seminars and we bring Kali and those guys up from Aruga and people from from Shagonas, Port of Spain and Rima want to come and learn the art of Kalinda, this is where they're going to come and train with us.
Bow. Come here. Pull here. Fast, and that's why when you make a stick, you always have to hide this. You make a stick. Right. You know, right. You see a pivot on your foot, you twist, you turn. So you make in here, left hand shot. Right, so when the man hit, the man miss. He miss here.
So you
could do anything you want to do there. You pull him back.
We're at a real cool juncture right now. I think that some of the material we have applicable to schools. Right now we are about to start a program for at-risk males because I think we understand aggression. We know what drives young men. In tribal cultures, they understood there was a place for aggression in young men. That aggression is a part of life. And they had safe vehicles to guide and mold young men. And that, for me, is what Gael is about. A Gael is a safe space. It's a space where young men could be aggressive and learn to control and manage aggression. It's a place of liberation, a place of retention, a place where you see yourself for who you are. You know, you could be the biggest bad man in the history of bad man with a nines in your waist, your pants down by your ankles, and you feel you know everything. You walk into that Gael, your pants come straight up. Because you can't dance with your pants down by your ankles. You put our nines aside and you have to deal with people and respect them for who they are. Because any boy man could cut any boy man. A case in point, there was a fight in St. Mary's where Carly was fighting a young man from Shagonas. And the young man broke one of the biggest rules that have in Kalinda. To try and hit somebody when they don't have a stick in their hand. And at the end of the fight, I saw Carly pull that young man aside. And the young man, say, King, I apologize. I get hurt. I make a real big mistake. And I saw that you spare me. You didn't punish me for it. And I know in the way Carly handled that moment of grace will echo in that life of that young man for the rest of his life. He saw that not because I could, I will, and not because I should, I have to. He saw that there was an alternate way of handling things. That there's a place where you could teach the people around you, groom them, help them grow. Even in the midst of all the excitement and the drama, the Gael, that there's still that space. And so we need to take that forward. We need to carry that and share it with our communities.
What do you learn at the stick? From here. You know, a man here, you go straight like coming here so. Like here, because you see the motion from here, see the motion from here. But if you come so, change.
All of us here for a very short period of time, and all we want to do in that short period of time is feel. To feel alive, like we're really alive. People drink, they do this, that, and the other to feel alive. But in that Gael, all the elements of life are right there. Consequence, learning, teaching, mercy, death, love. Because every boy man like to go and look for a good woman afterwards. You know what I mean? And the women love the boy man. I mean, it happens. You see it. So right in that circle of life.
It's a way. It's a very, very Caribbean way. You know, we mentioned the African diaspora, but it's not the African diaspora that has contributed tremendously. When you look at the Latino influence, the Amerindian influence in stick, it's there. When you look at the Indian, the East Indian contribution, it is tremendous.
Chiba man land from the main. Chiba man land from the main. Bobby Penner calling my name.
I feel really good about the fight, you know. Tonight is semi-final, so I'm going like, I'm feeling a little bit nervous. You know, My first bout, to me, I have a lot to prove. Because nobody ever see a boy man like me. I'm not supposed to be in the ring or something. But I go in and everything that we learn, everything that I do, for me is about representing my fathers, representing the artistic fighting and everybody who taught me, you know. I carry them on my shoulder. So every time I step out there, I must represent that kind of calendar. So I'm a little excited, a little nervous, but no fear. It have no quit, no backing. It's only boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that bout goes to Keegan Taylor of St. Mary's, Guyana.
There's a quote I read recently from something that John Stewart said, that the stick fighter was a combination of an opening batsman and a taxi driver. It was a joie de vivre, a feeling that Mother Miriam have. She said, well, Rondell, when you're playing stick, you gotta carry, and when the guy step in, you gotta come up. Now, I never play stick, yeah, son. But you had to move and walk on the man. And then as I interacted, I realized it was how they acted. They would not ever allow any company external to Moruga, any person, any business owner. You could be God himself come down from the mountain of Olympus with lightning bolt. They would never let that person dominate them. And it came because of this ethos, this massive amount of uncanny valor, this swagger, this I am somebody in this world. I'm not the greatest. I am not impervious to injury and harm. But I am a living, breathing human being, and I deserve life. And that's what stick gave me. Humanity is. It's to have that confidence to face any enemy. And as Mother Marva said, who is like in her 60s, she'd say, Rondell, I ain't afraid nobody. They could cut me, they could shoot me, they could kill me, but I play stick and I walk on man, I walk on woman, I ain't afraid. And I understand what she means. It's not that you don't feel fear, you know, but that I will not be inhibited. I will not be kept back from acting out and being a human, breathing being.
I sustained a nice, serious blow here. So the hand swell up. Elbow band up. Because I didn't breaks good. Breaks wasn't true. So I had to go back to the drawing board with the breaks in. But for some strange reason, I feel like I know what take your time and play actually means. Mother Miriam always tell me that. Fungobara always tell me that. Kalima and Benji always tell me that. And for some reason I can't articulate it, but I think I know what it means now. It means to truly be committed to the task, be part of it, sink down in the guy and feel the energy. Take your time, enjoy it even, be confident and just make your move. I'm really excited about the finals. I'm excited about being in the finals.
Carré, today is the day.
It's a spring boy,
Carré. It's carnival day.
It's a spring boy, Carré.
Today is the day.
It's a spring boy,
managers, their comments after the match was, you keep having them fellas to hang and you're letting them go. You know, and the same thing happened with Benji because fundamentally we are stickmen, but before we were stickmen, we are protectors. And we come to play a clean stick. And if I know I'm going to take out a fella eye with the next shot, just for the crowd, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Benji not doing that either. Right, so we'll have to make a couple adjustments next time where we still won't take out the eye, but we'll let them know what time it is. I mean,
That's the game.
That's the game. That's the game.
The winner of the last bout goes to Ronda Benjamin.
Obviously, some of the competitors weren't playing the same brand of stick we were, and they were willing to do whatever it took for them to win, including roughing the stick and hitting after, which is illegal. But that happens when somebody's intimidated by the brand of stick we playing, and their only solution was to cheat. And so that's how this happened. But I think in all, we did what we wanted to do. We wanted to represent a certain brand of stick from Moruga. We wanted people to see how the old stick was played. A clean stick, a powerful stick, a stick where we don't back from anybody and we play, we dance the calendar. And I think we achieved that today.
We gonna, boy. Ash Wednesday, we gonna, boy. Ash Wednesday, we gonna. We gonna, boy. Ash Wednesday, we gonna. Ash Wednesday, we gonna.
We are part of a way of life now, a way of life that is about ritual, it's about honoring the elders, it's about understanding what our ancestors as Trinidadians gave us. It's about cherishing that, cherishing each other. Yeah, because two men will fight almost to the death and at the end embrace, and it's love. Yeah, fellas, it's hug. When you nearly kill me or I nearly kill you, I really appreciate that you didn't kill me or that I am alive. I appreciate you plenty now. When I see you anywhere in town, oh,
It's a brotherhood formed because you had the gall to stand up in that. And however I was perceived beforehand, the perception was totally changed. The men who trusted me during and after that would be people who wouldn't trust me before. You know, and a boy man would trust you only so far. But when love is involved, and it's a concept that I am not afraid to say as a boy man or that boy man would, because Congo Bara and these guys taught that, they teach that.
I'm waiting by the junction. I'm hungry and I'm thirsty. I'm playing anybody. Send them by the million, boy. I'm waiting by the junction. I don't pray a gunman. Oh, God, send a woman. Oh, Lord, send a woodman. I bring them by the million. Let me one by the junction. I'm hungry and I'm thirsty.
Yeah, well, let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen. What about? What about?
Good. Oh, let's shake hands. Second, I just put good one.
No boy man afraid, no stick man, no boy man afraid, no demon. Hey!
Our personal journeys continue, you know. To have direct tutelage from people like Stokely and Kali and Congo, to have them as my personal guides moving forward in life, to learn from their mistakes, to be able to walk out into the heart of destruction and all these rules, to walk out into the very heart of that and still retain your humanity, to walk into a board meeting, but deep down inside I know no matter what you throw at me, this ain't nothing compared to what I have faced at the hands of the dastardly, dashing rogues of Moruga.
No boy man afraid, no boy man afraid, no boy man. No boy man afraid, no stick man, no boy man afraid, no demon. No boy man afraid, no boy man afraid, no boy man. No boy man afraid, no boy man, no boy man afraid, no stick man. No boy man afraid, no boy man afraid, no boy man. The Papa them Pikachu game, look them boy man, look them trying. No boy man afraid, no boy man afraid, no boy man. No boy man afraid, no boy man, no boy man afraid, no demon. No boy man afraid, no boy man afraid, no boy man. No boy man afraid, no boy man, no boy man afraid, no stick man. No boy man afraid, no boy man afraid, no boy man. No boy man afraid, no stick man, no boy man afraid, no demon. No boy man afraid, no boy man afraid, no boy man. No boy man no boy man no boy man no ba ba ba. No boy man afraid, no boy man afraid, no boy man. The Papa them Pikachu game, look them boy man.
That's it, folks. Any thoughts?
Well, I guess I will go first. So, thanks for the history, actually additional history. I've never made it to actual Guyana. Always wanted to. Although I grew up learning about it, knowing about it, seeing it in a more, I guess, artificial form as a performance, more performance based.